It's almost midnight, and you've drafted the "can we talk" text 4 times, then deleted it 4 times. You tell yourself that understanding the reason why they left would finally allow you to put this ache down. But that restless pull for answers usually points to a different need entirely. When someone leaves without a full explanation, the human mind treats the relationship like a compelling story with the last page torn out. Our brains are hardwired to keep flipping back, hunting for a conclusion that isn't there. This reaction is what psychologist Ari Kruglansky called the need for closure. It's a deep biological drive where the nervous system physically braces against the discomfort of not knowing. A relationship provides a profound sense of certainty for the nervous system. When it ends abruptly, that certainty collapses, and the brain sounds every alarm it has. Cravings for a why are less about drama and more about a system trying to find its footing after a sudden fall. Think about what would happen if you actually received the perfect, honest explanation you've been waiting for. Would it actually switch the ache off? Take Nadia, who spent months rehearsing the perfect confrontation after a partner went silent. When she finally ran into him, he was honest. He told her he wasn't in a place to give her what she deserved. Walking home, she felt more questions than relief. The answer didn't close the loop. It cracked open new anxieties about when exactly he decided to leave, and whether she could have said something differently to change the outcome. This happens because the why we chase has no bottom. Underneath the external question of their motives lies a much older, quieter fear about our own worth. Am I someone people leave? Because no ex can answer a question about your fundamental value, their reasons fail to reach the place that actually hurts. You are looking for a feeling of safety in the hands of the person who proved they wouldn't provide it. The person who was left and the person who left are often standing in two completely different stories. To the person left behind, the silence is a coded message or an unsolved case. You become a detective trying to draw a line between fragments of memories, convinced that understanding the puzzle is the only way to sleep again. To the person who left, the silence serves as an escape hatch. To them, an explanation would mean sitting inside the physical weight of guilt and your disappointment, feelings their nervous system has already ruled unbearable. This creates a fundamental paradox. You are asking a person who fled specifically because they couldn't process the situation to now sit down and narrate those same emotions in perfect detail. The very wiring that caused the breakup guarantees the explanation will be thin. You are waiting for a confession from someone who left because confessing was the one thing they could not stand to do. When the answer doesn't come, the mind often turns to rumination. Researcher Mariana Bakarova describes how a one-sided breakup traumatically interrupts your life story, leading to a search for meaning that can actually lengthen the distress. True reflection moves forward. You gain an insight, and then your hands are free. Rumination moves in a repetitive circle, wearing a deeper groove into the same thought without ever reaching new ground. This searching often disguises itself as healing, but it functions as food for the wound. Every replay of an old text or a memory keeps the person alive in your head for one more day, mistaking rehearsal for progress. There is a biological cost to this loop. The nervous system relives the trauma of the breakup every time you visit the memory. You experience the same tightening in the chest and the same drop in the stomach, as if it were happening fresh. Endlessly analyzing the past creates a cycle where the searching causes the ache, and the ache justifies more searching. You become trapped in a self-inflicted re-wounding in the name of understanding. There is real evidence that closure is something you can generate entirely on your own. In 2025, a study of over 400 women examined how the way we process a breakup affects our recovery. The group that wrote out their breakup story reported a stronger understanding of what happened, scoring an 80 in recovery compared to 60. Importantly, 87% of those storytellers turned toward their future, gaining momentum without receiving any explanation from their ex. This works because of a psychological role reversal. Waiting for an explanation keeps you as a character trapped on someone else's page. Building the ending yourself hands the story back to its rightful author. Therapist John Kim describes the relationship residue that clings to us after a breakup. Rebuilding a clear sense of your own identity, Who you are without that person's name attached is the only way to scrape that residue off. Moving forward is an act of reclaiming your narrative. You become the one who decides what this meant and what happens in the next chapter. If you've been standing by that door for months, please know that it wasn't a sign of weakness. Your mind was simply trying to find a reason to keep you safe from ever being hurt that way again. The data shows that we recover when we stop making our peace dependent on a performance from someone else. Moving on requires an internal authorization, a permission to stop hurting that no amount of external explanation could ever provide. Writing a private, unsent letter allows you to say the entire thing and then let it be finished on the page. It is a practical way of giving yourself the sign-off you've been waiting for them to deliver. The door you've been guarding was never locked from their side. It was only ever waiting for you to turn around and start writing the next page.